Organism's duties. Bro is wearing a tie. But it would be better without without that frog with the human face. Hi guys, it's Sarah. Sorry if the cuts in this video are a bit off. I did not intend for it to be as long as it is, but I did my best to bring it down and keep the funny bits. Sometimes I really wonder, how did I end up here? Not that I dreamed of a career as a neurosurgeon or an astronaut, but for crying out loud, working at a gas station? On the other hand, money is money. I sent out resumes to every conceivable and inconceivable place, applying for every position where I could somehow use my degree in art. God, this hits way too close to home. Zero responses. Exactly. Nobody sends responses. I had to swallow my pride and find at least something. Human organism. So I did read that right. Human organism wanted for work at gas station. This was your first red sign, because why would you? I get you're desperate, but like, organism's duties include selling food for mouth, silence and obedience, household tasks, obeying those who are more ancient. I found this note stuck to the glass. Girl, you were just asking for it at this point. Food for mouth? Seriously? The guy's got a style of his own. You call that style, I call that mental illness. Or is this their new marketing tactic to grab attention? Well, whatever. As long as he's not a complete jerk who'll hit on me or make me scrub the floors with a toothbrush. Oh, straight into it. I was okay. Hi. My brain feverishly tried to find any category for this in its database. Hallucination, psychosis, too many energy drinks. A typical middle manager. I don't think this is very typical. Bro is wearing a tie. Greetings, organism. I am Bob, the indescribable and terrifying consumer of worlds, but you, grain of sand, may call me Manager Bob. You will sell food for mouths and obey me, for I am ancient. Can you please, back up just a little bit? Discount, rot, ritual foil, everything must be sold. Every miserable unit of currency brings me closer to my triumphant exit from this pitiful hole. Rule number 2, be polite to customers, but don't let them get too bold. Customers are just walking containers for currency, and they should only pay in monetary units. Many of them come here just to chat because they are idle and purposeless organisms. Your task is to make them part with their currency anyway. Oh God, I'm not cut out for this. It is also your duty to heal organisms if they are injured using special kits. If they die, they can't give away currency. Werewolves and ectoplasmic entities are just a few examples of the many insignificant life forms that frequent this establishment. What unites them is that they are all slaves to consumption, just like your kind. As for my nature, I am your immediate supervisor and the guarantor of your future financial prosperity. I'm at a gas station for monsters. I got a job with Cthulhu for minimum wage. This is all you need to know. That is really all I'm gonna be so real. I don't want to know more. As long as I can stay safe, I don't want to know more. You don't need to tell me more. A rare and unexpected display of the grains of wisdom that have not yet left the human species. And what does the human employee of the month get? A cash bonus of 25 cents. Cool, I needed that for the fucking gumball machine. I understand. You know what's depressing? How much you want to bet they're not even 25 cents anymore? You will also have access to the elite manager's restroom. During its use, there is only a 7% chance that you will be transported to a dimension of endless pain, suffering, and I think I'll just not. I need to remind myself to not accidentally drink or eat too much during my shift. If that's I want to avoid that bathroom as much as possible. He suddenly places a jar in front of me on the counter. And the last rule, remember, organism, this tip container must be filled with money by the end of your wake cycle. So by the end of each sip, it has to be full. Bro, that's not getting filled by the end of my shift. If the bottom of the jar is visible, you will clean the sanitary rooms with this object in the dimension of absolute horrors and suffering for. No, I will not. Hello? So, am I contracted for a specific time? Can I, quit? How could anyone clean anything with a fork? Valid question. I was too focused on the length of time. What am I cleaning with this? The same will happen if you even think of escaping before the end of your work contract. Crap, I'm stuck here. I'm in a trap. This is your own fault. You picked up a fucking. It wasn't even a flyer, it was a sticky note on a bus. Goodbye, organism. Good luck in your currency acquisition and button pressing. Finally, he left me alone. The chip jar, which I needed to fill to avoid ending up in a dimension of ancient horror, still stood proudly on the counter. This jar would be my 13th reason. Like this, I would see this jar in my nightmares. I needed to. Oh fuck! Don't tell me that's the first customer. I was gonna say, do you mind walking your ass back out? But no, actually, do you mind just filling this jar now? Bells? What the hell? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That should not have gotten me as easy as it did. Where the hell did this clown come from? I didn't even clock the clown thing. Bro was just staring at me with bloodshot eyes, and that was enough. Listen, Jingle Bells, please don't look at me like that. It's freaking me out. Is he amused? Is he wondering if I'm tasty? Bob didn't exactly give any guarantees that I wouldn't get devoured at work. There was a cannibalism warning in here. I don't know if that counts if we're not the same species, but my brain, still recovering from the encounter with Bob, was frantically trying to figure out how to break this ringing silence. I'm not going to say the last one, obviously. I feel like he might think the boldness is funny. So I'm going to go with that. Hopefully he does not kill me on the spot for this. That's quite witty. Yes, fuck yes. That's the first joke I've heard in this wonderful place, and it wasn't disappointing. Thank you. It's so amusing that I might not turn your cash register into you and you into the cash register. I don't want to know what that means, so that's good. I'd also rather not be. Yeah, thank you. I would like to just sell some shit today. And even in the face of existential transformation, you're still talking about your duty. I don't like this. But I can't really ask for normalcy in this situation. My God, another crazy person with a strange way of speaking. Can we consider my boss a person? So what is a beautiful, charming lady like you doing in such a dreadful, dirty island of misfortune? Being a slave for minimum wage, that's what I'm doing. Or rather, what is a place like this doing with such a charming lady as you? I feel like my first answer still answers the question. Oh wait, where are my manners? I suppose I must introduce myself. I have many names, most of which are not fit to be spoken in the company of such a lovely lady. The nicest I've heard is the Mad King, a title I plan to pass from me to myself for the coming centuries. However, my mortal mother named me Dayron. Okay. Now, may I have your hand? Don't make me regret this. He suddenly bows his head and presses his lips to my knuckles. Meeting you is truly a pleasure. His lips are cold, yet a ghostly warmth spreads across my skin. So here I am, dealing with a real gentleman. How lovely, or a king as he calls himself. May I know your name? I don't immediately realize he's asking me a question, still in days from that gentlemanly kiss. I'm just gonna say my name's Sarah, sir. Ah, my dear Sarah, you are so polite. He seems to savor my name. It sends shivers down my spine. Polite people never risk anything. No friends, no enemies. How is that interesting? Imagine how wonderful it would be if we became enemies. Those would be the most interesting few seconds of your life. You know, I get that you would think that's interesting, but like me personally, I'm good. And honestly, this is just the way that I talk. But if you want me to be mean to you, you could just say that and I'll get to it. Or friends, then it would be a delightful eternity. Or lovers. Honestly, I'm ready to give him anything for tits. Offer him a playful pinky finger. Okay. Is this a friendship custom, I suppose? How charming, and how fortunate that I have a pinky too. He extends his hand. The creature and I seal our friendship pact with our pinkies. He seems pleased and doesn't plan to turn me into a toad or something like that. So let's finally get to the purpose of my visit. Yes, talk to me. It's unknown. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud. There's nothing interesting in this assortment of this pathetic shack except for you, so I'm buying your time. Let's have dinner. I'm sure you must be hungry. Oh no. Allow me to create a more pleasant atmosphere for us. This is more pleasant? I'm shivering from a gust of icy wind. He just teleported half of my gas station to a radioactive dump. Or a radioactive dump to my gas station. And the jar is. Why is the jar gone? Why'd you take my jar? What a wonderful place for dinner. Radioactive cockroaches on the menu? Yeah, perfect place. Praise the goat mother. Of course, a local delicacy, pan fried in their own radioactive juices just to preserve the flavor. I can't go long without familiar landscapes. Already ruined lands makes me melancholic because all the fun has happened without me. Disgusting. Allow me. Oh, this is actually really pretty. This is something seemingly less radioactive. Amazingly, I haven't thrown up yet. It feels like I've been flushed twice through an interdimensional toilet. Much better, wouldn't you agree? Couldn't be better. It's beautiful here and strange. Is this your home? Words of a true poet, Sarah. My two favorite categories, strange and beautiful. This place is much more than a home. It's my cage and my greatest canvas for creativity. And now you're part of this place too. Isn't it wonderful? I mean, it's nice. It has a spooky charm. But it would be better without that frog with the human face. I was trying to ignore this frog this whole time, and now you just drew attention to it. The frog notices me too, with an expression of deep existential despair. Do I want to know the answer? I don't think I want to know the answer. I'm just gonna ignore the frog. Seems you've noticed my pal Lore? Yeah, I see him, and he sees me. That's Lore, one of the brave souls who dared to challenge my authority. My dear friend, who once walked the path of adventure. However, he didn't foresee the possibility of being turned into a frog on a whim. Fought to the end, a true warrior. Now, however, his foes are mosquitoes and bigger frogs. Tell me, dear, does he bother you? His little existential froggy crisis, I mean. Is it ruin the ambience? He looks at me with an interested expression. Yes, please disintegrate. No. Hold on, I don't want to make a decision yet. What exactly does Lori do? I don't think I want to know. I think I'm good. He can just stay there if you want him to. I will not pay him any mind. You don't mind? Excellent. I think he really sets the tone for the whole clearing, aesthetically. What is on my plate? Please tell me it's not human meat. This looks strange, but it smells delicious. Meat with honey? And next to the meat, a purple soup, possibly made from a less fortunate cashier. Ah, why would you say that? Whether the food is poisoned or not, if I refuse, His Highness might turn me into a frog too. So I pick up a fork from the table, and this is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. It's 100 times better than those cheap instant noodles I usually buy in supermarkets. Cool. I never want to know what this is made of. It seems you enjoy our cuisine. My chefs have always managed to cook well, on those occasions when I had noticed it. I assure you, you won't regret this dinner, at least not for the first half hour after the meal. I'm gonna say this. Purple goo, I'll have to tell the head chef you call it that. He calls it broth of vicious stars and deceit, but I think your description is more honest. And don't be too quick to call your life listenable. Until now, it was just a prologue. But now, the first act begins. A silence hangs between us that might have been called cozy, were I under heavy narcotics. Don't ask silly questions. Return to eating. Why can't I ask silly questions? Is he gonna kill me if I ask silly questions? Should I save? I should probably save. I want to ask a silly question. Glad you asked. It's right here on our plate. Just kidding. But I do need some time to think. I think it's a dog. It loves its owner with all its heart, whether they're a saint or a serial killer. Cats, to them, were probably jesters. Oh, indeed, they are the true rulers of this reality, tiny furry gods of apathy and disdain, and we are their obedient, foolish caretakers. But I've been lucky enough to escape their tyranny and instead enjoyed my own, and feed those around me. By the way, how does the meat taste? God, please don't tell me I'm eating a whole ass person. I'm so... Oh, fuck. Why would you make me a cannibal? I didn't ask for that. Fuck. I feel like instinctively, realistically, I would throw up. Like immediately. Frick. He would kill me though if I just like full on threw it up. I think I would just have to like swallow my vomit. And while most ladies would faint or have a fit, you mind your manners. Charming. I'm trying not to get killed. This isn't my manners. But don't worry, my little polite marble statue. It's just venison. God, fuck it. You deserve jail time for that. It's definitely not Timmy, our carpenter, who unexpectedly disappeared near the large kitchen cauldron, perfectly sized to fit in. Definitely not. It better not be. But that's beside the point. I rarely have visitors, and I'd like to tell you about other interesting guests. Many brave and not so bright souls have tried to conquer this terrifying, dark, eerie, crooked castle. So many that it became even more crooked. You see, the dreadful monster living there never liked being distracted from its important duties, like having long, deep conversations with its own reflection or concocting recipes with raisins. So far, the scariest thing in this story is the presence of. Yeah. Yes, you do understand. They are a real horror, aren't they? Tiny, shriveled bits of deception. They pretend to be sweet, but they are just made to ruin. Raisin oatmeal. Sorry, if you like raisin oatmeal cookies, I don't know, man. That's quite the taste you have there. The monster was a tyrant, a menace. He sowed chaos and disorder, mostly on purpose. He had countless opportunities for creativity and wasn't afraid to use them. But behold, a ray of light in the dark kingdom. The first hero, Sir Lorre. Our hero descended into the grotto of despair, the grotto of tentacles. Imagine the most sinister name you can conjure. I can't think of anything. The grotto of my parents' disappointment in me. The grotto kidney stones. I'm gonna go with that. The dreadful, imperfect human body. The worst affliction is having them in your kidneys. What a joy that now I can choose how many I have. Oh, I prefer net. Oh, yeah. I don't really have any thoughts here. So the knight perished. On the third day of his captivity, he noticed that his prison cell was lacking the fourth wall. Sir, what? I'm not gonna lie, Darren. You love to hear yourself talk. This is a lot of exposition on your life that you're just dumping onto me right now. An episode, a little curse upon the elf as well. I made it so that every time he drew his bowstring, he'd hear the most annoying melody to his ears. Elmer was a terrible racist. He hated dwarves, so naturally the melody became the national anthem of the dwarves, played in loop by a bagpipe orchestra. The pure rage it provoked derailed his aim every time. Okay, hear me out. That's actually a pretty good curse to put on someone. Maybe I'm tripping a little bit, but first of all, it's not the worst thing that could happen. But also, I don't have that much tolerance for racist people, so. Eventually, he stormed the castle, dropped his bow, and begged for a job at my court in exchange for changing the song to anything else. Now he is my royal huntsman. The dwarf march is replaced with a lively elven she-shanty. You missed the opportunity to change the dwarf national anthem to dwarf serenades. It's a refined Delvillish thing. Why didn't I think of it myself? Yeah, why didn't you? That would have been so funny. Well, I'll steal your idea for the future. And finally, the witch. She tried a different approach, seduction. She attempted to charm me, to gain my trust, to become my spouse, a fatal miscalculation. She didn't consider the fact that I never trusted big hats, or people, especially when both came hand in hand. And those who wear suspenders and a belt at the same time. That's a fair thing to say. I never really thought about it, but that's fair. Then again, I don't trust His Highness either. I don't trust myself, especially the left side of my brain, especially on Thursdays. But back to hats. I don't know though. I think hats don't really excite much in me. Meanwhile, the witch was quite overt in her murderous intentions. Why does a witch need so many hidden blades? She must have been very bad at witchery. Yeah, like what the fuck? You have magic. Hello? Like sure. A hidden knife or two? Fair enough. But also you have magic. That should be your like plan A through E at least. In any case, she now resides in my dungeon, and you see, I haven't decided what to do with her yet. Oh, you're gonna ask me, aren't you? Yeah, he's asking me. I simply adore random choices. Give me yours, Sarah. What punishment befits her? Okay. Maybe just make her chopped. That's like honestly, that's aside. I feel like that's better than dying. It's probably better than dying. What? Does it really want me to decide what to do with a real person? Can I even save? You definitely can't save her. You have to do something funny. And doesn't matter what I choose, everything here follows his whims anyway. But as long as I play the circus monkey, I have a chance to get out of here alive. Maybe I should just entertain him? Damn, what should I do? Turn her hat into a small one. I think the craziest thing would be to spare her. No one would expect that. I refuse to turn her hat into a small one. That's kind of funny. The one who lived by a big hat shall become a small hat. The irony is so absurd it's beautiful. So be it. Let her be a small cap of eternal regret. That's not what I said. Something's missing from this tale. You never told me about the monster itself. Dear, who cares about these monsters anyway? I do. If monsters are the muck, then I'm the pig, you see? How eloquent. Alright. I must admit, this will be my first performance like this. Darren sounds a bit bewildered, it seems. Allow me to just toss my mind up and see how it lands. You see, the monster was originally much more modest and less majestic. But we all have to start somewhere, right? Then my head suddenly became a bit crowded. First whispers, then arguments, then full-fledged discussions that had to be participated in, and involved inanimate objects. But why was I afflicted with this curse? Pondering it drives me mad, even more so. It seems that question is meant for me. I don't know, maybe cursed artifact. Dear, I'm afraid you've confused the cause and effect. It's I who drive rings mad, not the other way around. No, I'm afraid it's a bit more banal. It's all about rotten blood. Too pure, I beg your pardon. But I always thought I would be spared this fate. I had to be temporarily isolated to avoid embarrassing guests at royal balls with the young prince pointing at noble lords and saying, haha, the gnomes finally got out from under my bed. My death would have solved many problems for my family, and indeed, many of my own problems too. I made a decision. We made it, to be precise. There was already a whole council of us by then. However, Chaos had other plans. A god, a goddess, a cosmic clerical error, I don't know. Something ancient and terribly bored found itself a new source of entertainment. It offers me a throne, my own corner of reality to rule, where the fragments of my mind would become the laws of the land. No more restrictions, or pants for my subjects if I wished. And now I know your entire life story. I hope it felt good for you to get that off your chest, because I just sat here for like 30 minutes listening to you. Will you give me a I really sympathize with you and all your multiple personalities. So you're still in a cage? It must be rather rolling here. Thank you for the story. How can you just lock a family member in a tower? It's unthinkable. That is really fucked up, I won't lie. No, cages. More like a playground, with surprisingly silent infants. But I don't blame them. I have the best shovel. It's no wonder I balance them so much. Or maybe it's because I love to create explosions. Tell me, have you ever been exploded? Or no, don't tell me. Let it be a surprise. Do you really sympathize with someone who dragged you into his dimension? People never cease to amaze me. I mean, it's only sympathy. It's not like I'm feeling anything crazy for you right now. I'm afraid royal duties await me. Our time is up. I shall send you back, Sarah. I rise from the chair. The light is blinding even with my eyes closed, so unusual after all this darkness. The jar is full of money. It was all worth it. Oh! Greetings, organism. How is your work progressing? I see the first transaction was successful. Acceptable. This still doesn't save you from the threat of cleaning sanitary facilities, but it's a wonderful starting point for your future for your entire tiny life. I, not my entire one. I will just stay until my contract ends. I am proud of you, and I will be even prouder if you acquire even more currency. I'll do my best. Your tactic of adjusting carefree organism is clearly paying off. I don't know if that'll work on every single customer, but I'll try. My mind departs from you and the organic form follows. Oh, okay. I kind of want to steal that line. Quite the interesting little side hustle I've acquired. If you like this video, you should check out my other ones. See you next time.